I am Tech Sergeant Burawiden and I'm an Academy military trainer. Today I will be discussing the organizational culture of the United States Air Force Academy. The United States Air Force Academy is a unique organization within the Air Force. Its primary mission is to educate, train, and inspire men and women to be leaders of characters. About 400 students with different backgrounds attend this prestigious institution. The cadet wing consists of different mission elements, like the athletic department, the dean of faculty, and 40 cadet squadrons. Recently, the class of 2024 included 1,145 students, of which 799 are men and 730 are non-minorities. Because of this demographics, the Academy's organizational culture is diverse but still traditional. Elements help the cadets with different aspects of their career. Athletic focuses on physical aspect. The dean of faculty creates curriculum for courses. The wing and group staff provide leadership opportunities, while the squadron focuses in supporting and mentoring the cadets. Since the squadron permanent party and cadet leadership work closely with each other, they tend to foster more of a family culture. Diversity is abundant in the academy, but it does come with challenges. These challenges is unconscious gender bias. When USAFA was established, 306 men were part of the first class in 1955. It was not until June 1976 when a group of 157 women joined the cadet wing. It took 21 years before women were admitted, and because of this, many female cadets still experience this bias. Currently, the commandant is a female, but she's only the third female commandant in the history of the academy. Out of 21 superintendents, only one female led the cadet wing. Female cadets often feel like they need to prove themselves to their male counterparts, especially when it comes to leadership positions and jobs. Thomas Higginbottom stated that in 1977, Air Force graduated its first 10 female pilots from training. More than 40 years later, only 5.8% of Air Force pilots are female. He further explains that gender disparity remains one of the most critical issues faced today globally. Is trust. Trust with each other, with permanent party, and with higher leadership. Many cadets will experience many of their firsts at the academy. First time being away from home, from family and friends, first job, first military experience, and first time being around people with different backgrounds. Because of this, they isolate themselves because they're not familiar with the culture and they don't want to offend anyone. Then for some, relationship with others are not established yet. Basic cadet training tries to foster this relationship, but 6 weeks is not long enough to build that trust. Even the permanent party lose their trust with their leaders because they're the ones that implement changes that they don't have input on and have to deal with the ramifications. Commitment is another challenge that is seen among cadets. Parents that graduated from the academy often force or influence their children to follow their footsteps, even though it's not what the kids want. Their commitment is pretty low, and for some, it even gets lower when they arrive for. But for others, their commitment is higher because they want to make their parents proud and this the chance to be a part of the long blue line. So why are these challenges present in this great institution? Edgar Shin, author of Organizational Culture and Leadership, explains that with new organizations, founders use their own bias and assumptions when developing processes. In the academy, these assumptions can be linked to traditions. These traditions have been passed down from class to class since 1955. Many have evolved, but others stay the same. One of the traditions that many cadets talk about is getting beat during their freshman year. But with recent changes, this type of tradition is now defined as hazing, which Air Force does not tolerate. Yet many graduates and current students continue this tradition because it's part of history, and that the assumption that many survive it, so others can, and they completely disregard the psychological effects it can cause. So, how do we solve these issues? One way is to foster diversity. Air Force acknowledges that a diverse force have a positives and negatives. Being aware of it and implementing initiatives on inclusion and mutual respect is the first step towards combating these issues. USAFA initiated an unconscious bias curriculum for the cadet wing through the guidance of Dr. Carrie Baker. She provides steps in identifying these biases and acknowledges that it is normal, but with awareness, its impact can be mitigated. Having tough and critical conversations is another way to make work centers be less hostile. Even just getting to know each other and understanding their backgrounds can eliminate misconceptions or miscommunications. Front Porch Thursday is a cadet driven program that encourages building relationships and having those difficult conversations. Honesty and compassion can also help building trust with cadets, staff, and leadership. Allowing their bright minds to speak and appreciate their efforts improves both their commitment and trust in the institutions and themselves. To conclude, USAFA is a unique and diverse institution who inspires and trains men and women to be leaders. Tradition is a part of life in Cadet Wing, but is slowly adapting to change because it's no longer relevant to the current environment. Different experiences, backgrounds, and perceptions can be attributed to this change, but it still has a long way to go. Challenges like unconscious bias, trust and commitment issues are still common, but USAFA has established initiatives to foster diversity and inclusion and help combat these issues. Lastly, returning to basics, getting to know each other can go a long way in building those relationships that can help develop trust and higher levels of commitment.